For nearly 5,000 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood on the edge of the desert, holding secrets that no one has been able to fully explain. We've been told it was built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 before Christ, that it was constructed by tens of thousands of workers using copper tools, wooden sledges, and sheer human determination, that every chamber, every passageway, every architectural feature has been mapped, explored, and understood. But here's the problem. In 2017, scientists using cutting-edge particle physics technology discovered something inside the Great Pyramid that wasn't supposed to be there. A massive hidden chamber, larger than any known room inside the structure, located in a position that makes no architectural sense, and sealed so completely that no one has seen inside it for over 4,000 years. Egyptian authorities immediately halted the research. They refused to allow excavation. They won't explain what the chamber is, why it exists, or what might be inside. And the scientist who made the discovery? He's been blocked from returning to Egypt ever since. Put on your headphones, lock your doors, because what I'm about to show you challenges everything Egyptologists have told us about the pyramids. November 2nd, 2017. A joint team of researchers from France, Japan, and Canada announced a discovery that sent shockwaves through the archaeological world. Using a technology called muon tomography, essentially cosmic ray imaging that can see through solid stone, they had detected a previously unknown void inside the Great Pyramid. The chamber is located directly above the Grand Gallery, one of the pyramid's most famous interior passageways. It's approximately 98 feet long, at least 26 feet high, and it has the same cross-sectional shape as the Grand Gallery below it. Dr. Mehdi Tayoubi, president of the Heritage Innovation Preservation Institute in France, led the scanning project. He stated clearly, "This is a major discovery. We don't know if it's horizontal or inclined. We don't know if it's one structure or several successive structures. But we can confirm that it's there. It's big, and it's been hidden for over 4,500 years." The news broke internationally. National Geographic covered it. The BBC ran a special aid. Scientists around the world called it one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the century. But here's what most people don't know. Within 48 hours of the announcement, Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities released a statement dismissing the findings. They said the void was likely just a construction gap, a structural irregularity, nothing of significance. Dr. Zahi Hawass, Egypt's most powerful archaeologist, went even further. He publicly ridiculed the research, calling it noise, and insisting the pyramid had been fully explored decades ago. He said, "I don't believe in this discovery. The pyramid has no secrets left." But when reporters asked if he would allow excavation to confirm what the chamber contains, he refused. No drilling, no robotic cameras, no physical investigation of any kind. Just dismissal, as if the discovery had never happened. Why would Egyptian authorities react this way? Why refuse to investigate a major discovery inside one of the most studied structures in human history? Let's look at the evidence, and you can decide for yourself whether their explanation makes sense. Muon tomography isn't some fringe pseudoscience. It's the same technology used to scan damaged nuclear reactors after the Fukushima disaster. It's been used to find hidden chambers in Mayan pyramids, to study volcanic activity, and to detect smuggled nuclear materials. It works by measuring cosmic ray particles called muons that constantly rain down on Earth from space. These particles pass through empty spaces easily, but are absorbed by dense materials like stone. By placing detectors inside a structure and measuring where muons pass through versus where they're blocked, scientists can create a 3D image of what's inside. It's non-invasive, it's highly accurate, and it doesn't require drilling or damaging the structure in any way. The Scan Pyramids team, as they called themselves, placed muon detectors in multiple locations inside the Great Pyramid over the course of 2 years. They ran thousands of hours of scans, and every single scan showed the same thing. A massive void, always in the same location, with clear boundaries, with consistent internal dimensions. This wasn't random noise. This wasn't a construction gap or an irregularity in the stone. This was a deliberate architectural feature, a hidden chamber, and it had been sealed so perfectly that no explorer, no archaeologist, no tomb robber in over 4,000 years had ever found it. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. The Scam Pyramids team wanted to continue their work. They proposed using micro-drilling to insert a fiber optic camera and see inside the chamber without causing significant damage. It's the same technique used in 22 when a robotic camera was sent up a shaft in the Queen's chamber and discovered a mysterious stone door with copper handles. That discovery raised more questions than it answered, but at least it was investigated. This time the Egyptian Ministry of Antiquities said no. Dr. Tayoubi applied for permits. Denied. He offered to fund the entire operation privately. Denied. He collaborated with Egyptologists to design the least invasive method possible. Still denied. And when he tried to return to Egypt in 2019 to meet with officials, his visa application was rejected. No explanation. Just a bureaucratic wall. As if someone very powerful didn't want him anywhere near that pyramid again. Dr. Hawass, who controls most archaeological work in Egypt, has built his career on the narrative that the pyramids were built by Egyptians using primitive tools and that they served as tombs for pharaohs. Any discovery that challenges this narrative threatens his legacy. And the hidden chamber does challenge it. Because if this chamber exists, and if it's been sealed since construction, then it means the builders of the Great Pyramid had a purpose for that space. A purpose that wasn't recorded in any hieroglyphics. A purpose that required a level of architectural planning and secrecy far beyond what we attribute to ancient Egypt. What could that purpose be? Some researchers, like Robert Bauval, who proposed the Orion correlation theory, believe the pyramids weren't just tombs. They were astronomical observatories, initiation chambers, or repositories of knowledge. He points out that the Great Pyramid's internal shafts align precisely with certain stars as they appeared in the sky around 2500 before Christ. The so-called air shafts in the king's chamber point directly at Orion's belt and the star Sirius. Why? If they were just ventilation shafts, why align them with such precision to specific stars? And if the builders were advanced enough to encode astronomical alignments into the architecture, what else might they have encoded? What else might they have hidden? Graham Hancock takes this further. He proposes that the Great Pyramid was built by a civilization far older and far more advanced than ancient Egypt. A civilization that existed before the last ice age and that left behind megalithic structures as markers of their knowledge. He cites evidence of water erosion on the Sphinx, which would require rainfall levels that haven't existed in Egypt for over 9,000 years. He points to the precision of the pyramid's construction. Massive granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons, cut and fitted so tightly that you can't slide a blade between them. Even with modern laser cutting tools, that level of precision is difficult. With copper chisels, impossible. And the pyramid's alignment with true north is accurate to within 0.05 degrees. Modern structures struggle to match that. How did Bronze Age Egyptians achieve it? But let's return to the hidden chamber, because there's another detail that doesn't fit. The chamber sits directly above the Grand Gallery, a soaring corridor 153 feet long and 28 feet high, with a core-billed ceiling that narrows as it rises. The Grand Gallery is one of the most architecturally sophisticated features of the entire pyramid. And yet, no one knows its purpose. It doesn't lead to the king's chamber. It doesn't connect to any other known passage in a functional way. It's just there. A massive empty hallway, unless it's not empty, unless it serves a function we don't understand. And if there's a hidden chamber directly above it, mirroring its dimensions, then maybe the two are connected. Maybe they form a system, a resonance chamber, an acoustic device, or something else entirely. In 2003, engineer Christopher Dunn published a controversial book proposing that the Great Pyramid was actually a power plant. He argued that the internal chambers were designed to generate and amplify energy using chemical reactions and harmonic resonance. Mainstream Egyptologists dismissed this as pseudoscience. But Dunn's analysis is based on measurable physical properties. He points out that the king's chamber is made entirely of granite, a stone containing high concentrations of quartz crystal, which is piezoelectric, meaning it generates electrical charge when subjected to pressure or vibration. The chamber's dimensions create a resonant frequency of approximately 438 Hz. If sound or vibration at that frequency were introduced, the entire chamber would resonate. And if the hidden chamber above it were part of that system, amplifying or focusing the energy, then the pyramid's true purpose becomes far stranger than a tomb. Sound like science fiction? Consider this. In 2018, researchers from ITMO University in Russia used electromagnetic simulations to study how the Great Pyramid interacts with radio waves. They discovered that the pyramid's shape and internal structure focus electromagnetic energy into the chambers and beneath the base. The king's chamber, in particular, acts as a resonant cavity. Their findings, published in the Journal of Applied Physics, concluded the pyramid essentially concentrates electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and beneath its base. They weren't looking for evidence of ancient technology. They were studying pyramid geometry for modern antenna design. But their results suggest the pyramid's architecture manipulates energy in ways we don't fully understand. Ways that might not be accidental. Now imagine there's a sealed chamber above the Grand Gallery. A chamber that's been hidden for 4,500 years, a chamber that the Egyptian government refuses to investigate. What's inside? Is it empty? Is it filled with artifacts? Is it a structural element we don't understand? Or is it something else? Something that would challenge the accepted narrative of ancient Egypt so profoundly that authorities would rather leave it sealed than risk what might be revealed. Here's what we know. The chamber exists. Multiple independent scans confirm it. The technology used to detect it is proven and reliable. The researchers who found it are credentialed physicists, not fringe theorists. And yet no one in a position of authority will allow investigation. Dr. Hawass continues to insist the pyramid has no secrets. The Ministry of Antiquities continues to block research, and the hidden chamber remains sealed, as if someone is protecting something, or hiding something, and this isn't the first time. In 1993, German engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink sent a robotic crawler up one of the narrow shafts in the Queen's chamber. At the end of the shaft, 213 feet from the chamber, the robot discovered a limestone door with 2 copper handles. The discovery made international news. Gantenbrink proposed drilling a small hole to insert a camera and see what was behind the door. Dr. Hawass initially agreed, but then, for reasons never explained, he revoked Gantenbrink's permit and banned him from the site. 9 years later, in 2002, a different team was allowed to drill through the door. The camera showed another small space and another door beyond it. That second door has never been opened. Hawass claims there's nothing of interest behind it, but he won't allow further investigation. Why? If there's nothing there, what's the harm in looking? The pattern is clear. Whenever a new discovery is made inside the Great Pyramid, authorities initially allow limited investigation. But the moment the findings challenge the official narrative, permits are revoked, researchers are banned, and the site is closed to further study. It happened to Gantenbrink. It happened to the Scam Pyramids team. It's happened to dozens of independent researchers over the past century, and the result is always the same. The discovery is dismissed, the evidence is downplayed, and the mystery remains unsolved. But the hidden chamber isn't going anywhere. It's been there for over 4,000 years. And now that we know it exists, the questions won't go away. What was it built for? What's inside? Why is it positioned above the Grand Gallery? And why won't anyone in power allow us to find out? Until Egyptian archaeology embraces genuine transparency, we may never know exactly what's hidden behind those carefully sealed stones. But one thing is certain. The Great Pyramid still has secrets, and someone is determined to keep them buried. If you've made it this far, thank you. Leave a like if this discovery made you question the official story. Tell us what you think is inside that chamber. And subscribe to join us as we continue exploring the mysteries they don't want us to investigate. But remember, some doors are sealed for a reason. And some secrets, once revealed, change everything.